Wholesale to Million family? In this video, I'm going to share with you a live phone call that I had with the seller the other day and how I'm able to lock the property up in contract all over the phone. For those of you who follow me for a long time, you know that I do this all virtually. I lock property on the contract over the phone, which means I never met the seller. I've never seen the property. Now, I'm not going to be able to share with you the whole entire phone call, but I'll break it down and show you roughly how I do it. And hopefully, this video will add some value to your life and to your business today. And if it does, boom, show me some love. Smash the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, boom, smash the subscribe button. Turn on that bell notification so when I upload a new video or when I go live, you get notified. Also, too, is that comment below and let me know just one takeaway that you got from this phone call, okay? Just one takeaway, so comment below and let me know. So this property here is worth $320, okay? This property is worth $320, and I got it on contract for $134.5. So our potential, right after doing the formula, our potential wholesale fee on this deal is roughly about $35,000, all right? So, at the beginning of the call, I built some rapport with the seller. But what you're about to listen to is how I set the intention. Alright? You want to set the intention with the seller up front, letting them know what this phone call is going to be about. So, set the intention. Here it is.
Go over all the information here, make sure we have this correct.
Okay.
And then I'll be able to present you with our cash offer, and hopefully together we can come together to an agreement on a fair price that works for you and for us, and be move forward to buy your property today, okay?
Okay.
So the next thing I want to ask the seller is how soon do they want to close on the property? Is there a deadline or a time frame, or are they in a crunch? I don't assume, I always ask. Some of you are having this issue where you go ahead and you mention the day. You're like, oh, we can close in the next 7 to 10 days because you're thinking a quick closing can get the seller to come off on price even more. The thing is, if you don't have to negotiate properly, you do not need to put yourself in that tight spot because now you're giving yourself only 7 to 10 days to find a cash buyer. Majority of you that are starting out or maybe even in the business, 7 to 10 days is not enough time frame to find yourself a buyer and actually close on the property. So what you want to do is you always want to ask, you do not want to assume, okay? So in this case, when I asked the seller said they don't need to close the property until May of 2020, until next year. But if we can close sooner, they are fine with that. You see, but if I didn't ask, I wouldn't know that. So don't assume, ask the seller, let the seller, right, give you the information, and then you can negotiate from there. So if they say 7 to 10 days, then if it's too tight for you, then you can negotiate based on the information they give you, but you're not the one who giving them, okay? So I hope that helps. Listen.
If we can agree on the price that works for you and us, what is your time frame? What is the time frame as far as you selling and closing escrow money?
Well, I was looking towards springtime, but if it needs to happen sooner, it can.
Okay. So you're thinking about next year, right?
Yeah, like the first week of May.
Okay, no problem. And let me see here. Now, if we can agree on something that can happen sooner, or is it something you're planning to, that you can move this year, or does it have to be sometime next year?
No, if it can happen, towards the end of the year, that's fine.
Okay, no problem at all.
Now, the next thing I'm going to ask the seller is what's the reason, what's the motivations behind it, why they want to sell the property. But you see, it's not about what question you ask, it's how do you ask the questions to get the answer you need, and you're going to see how I eliminate the price part, right? I eliminate the price part, and I want them to tell me something else beside the price. Here it is.
Besides getting the right price for the property, what is another reason that you're looking to sell a property?
I'm looking to relocate to Texas due to my father's change in his health condition.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay.
Next thing I'm going to ask the seller is about repair, right? We need to know what needed to be done to the property, right? I ask just one simple questions, but I let the seller walk me through the property. Since we don't go out there to look at the property, we need some visuals, right? I ask them about the roof, the electrical, the plumbing, the flooring, the windows, Does it need paint? How about the kitchen? How about the bathroom? So I let the seller tells me all of that, and then what you're about to listen to is I ask the seller what do they think it's going to cost to put it in perfect condition again. All right, you need to get the seller to give you that number. The reason why is if their number is low, you hold them accountable. So when you send your buyer to go out there, you can always go back and renegotiate with them. Okay, if their number is high, which is good because you can subtract that right from your offer price. Now, when I make the offer, I do not use the number that the seller give me, just based on our experience of what I think it will cost to put the house in perfect conditions, right? Based on all the information they give me, all right? So here it is.
The condition of the home, what do you think that it will cost to put this house in perfect condition, like, you know, obviously like brand new, like the 2019 standard?
I would probably say, I'm not an expert, but I would probably say, 50,000.
Okay.
If that.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much for that.
Now it's going to come down to negotiating on the price. Now here's some things that I say to the seller to get him to drop off the price, okay? So what you're going to listen to is that the seller actually wants $50,000 as a walkaway, and when it comes to negotiating on the price, I always talk about the walkaway, not the sell price, right? Not the purchase and sell price. I always talk about the walkaway because a lot of times, I'm telling you, try it and let me know. A lot of time the seller, the walkaway money plus whatever they owe, if you add it two together, is way lower, right, than what they initially thought that they want to sell the property for. Because in their mind, when they sell the property, they got to pay for all these costs and all these fees. So they don't know exactly where the number would kind of land at, or they would walk away. But if you can narrow it down for them and just talk about the walk away, I promise you, majority of time, the figure that they give you, and you add that, if there is a mortgage, and you add that together, it's a lot lower than what they initially say they want for the property. So anyways, the seller originally wants to walk away with $50,000, right? But after I talk to the seller, you can see here, just one simple questions, the seller drop it down to $35,000, okay? Here it is.
The nice thing about selling us your property is when you do move, you take whatever you want with you, and whatever you don't want, you can actually leave it behind. You don't have to worry about cleaning up or anything like that, because we'll be the one that's going to come in and actually take care of that for you.
Okay.
Definitely want to make sure it's a hassle-free process for you as possible. Now, with that being, just want to know from you is that could you see yourself going any lower than 42 as a walkaway to us?
Maybe a little bit lower.
Like how much?
Maybe like 35.
So the seller went from 42, so originally went 50 to 42, and then to 35, because when she was at 42, she said that I can possibly go a little bit lower. And then I ask her, so how much lower? See, some of you do not ask that. You want to ask that and then continue to have them continue giving you that numbers, okay? And now I'm going to ask another questions to get the seller to come down to 30. Then I came in with the offer, get the commitment, and lock it up on a contract over the phone. Here it is.
Whatever price that we come together to an agreement upon, that'll be the net amount that you walk away with.
Okay.
So if we cover all the closing costs and all the fees, could you see yourself going any lower than $35,000 for us?
30 would probably be the lowest.
30, okay. So that would basically that would put the purchase price. So basically that would put me at $139 with us doing all the closing, all the fees. Would you consider $25,500 net to you? We pay all the costs and all the fees, so that'll be your walk-away money.
Sure.
So that will put the purchase price at $134,500. If I can get the approval from my team manager for the purchase price of $134,500, we pay all the closing costs, all the fees, including the excise tax, taking over the property as is with us doing all the repairs. Net to you at the time of closing is $25,500 net to you. You are ready to move forward and sell your property. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Put you on mute on hold for a couple seconds while I get that approved.
Sure.
Okay, hold on.
Boom! You see that? Now the next thing we need to do is put an expiry date on there. So we need to have an expiration date on our offer because we want to create that urgency so the seller doesn't take their sweet time, and we need that contract at ASAP. Otherwise, obviously, our offer will not be good, okay? So, and listening is very important. So I talked to the seller on a Saturday, and the seller wanted to wait until Monday because she's thinking she has to print it out, sign it, scan it, and send it back to us. So she needs to be at her office with a printer. Right when she said that, I told her that this is in DocuSign where she can actually review it and sign directly online. But I didn't want to be too pushy, so I told her it's up to her, whatever is easier and more convenient to her. But and then I kind of, you know, like kind of sigh a little bit and say, hey, you know, our offer's only good until this X amount. So I was able to convince her and get her to sign and send it back to us on a Sunday, okay? And after that, you're going to be able to listen to is that I kind of go through and verify and give the seller the peace of mind by saying, hey, everything that we talked about and agreed upon should be on there. We are going to use the local title company to do the closing so that way both parties protected. If you have any question or concern, give us a call back, okay? So very, very important. Give them that peace of mind before you send it over. And I promise you, you get that contract signed quickly and send it back to you quickly, okay? Here it is.
I got to put the expiry date on there. So it will take me about 15 to 20 minutes to drop the agreement. Send it over to your email. Do you know roughly when we'll expect to get it signed back from you?
Well, I will not be in my office until Monday.
Okay.
So if I can get until Monday where I have access, you know, to the computer and whatnot and be able to print out stuff, that would be great.
Yep, no problem at all. So I do want to let you know, obviously, the choice is yours. But what DocuSign is that it allows you to actually review the agreement online, and you can actually sign electronic. You can actually sign electronically.
Okay.
Yep. So let me put here, because I know our offer is good for 48 hours. If that's the case, you think you'll be able to, if I have it expired for tomorrow, which is Sunday, same time as this, 4 p.m., would that be something that you think you can get done?
That's doable.
Okay, you got it. All right, I got everything I needed, and then give me about 15, 20 minutes after I send that over to you. I'll follow up text message, and if you can just respond back, let me know that you got the agreement. That would be great, okay?
Yeah, and I'll review everything with my fiance and make sure that's all up to par with him as well.
That is, Chris, have any concern or any question on the agreement? Like I said, everything we talked about and agreed upon should be on there, and we are going to use Chicago Title to do the closing so everyone is protected. But if you have any question or concern, don't hesitate to call me. I'm more than happy to walk you through and answer any question you guys have, okay?
Absolutely.
Congrats, and I'll get that sent over to you shortly.
All right. Thank you so much.
Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that it adds some value to your life and to your business, and hopefully you're able to walk away with some tips so you can implement on your next phone call when you're talking to seller. Now, that is just a few things that's in the King Kong script. That is not everything. If you think that was good, you should check out my King Kong Seller Script package. The link is right below. Go to Wholesale to Million, no S, wholesale2million.com. The investment is $4.95, but I promise you, it is the best investment you ever make for yourself and for your business. Because I'll show you exactly how to talk to the seller, how to negotiate, how to control the phone call, how to handle all the rebuttal, right? Whether you're cold calling, door knocking, or you're meeting the seller in the streets. As long as you're talking to the seller, I'll show you how to dominate the phone call, how to convert more leads into actual deals, and how to lock more property up under contract all over the phone. Like I said, if you want to go meet the seller, it's the same questions, same rebuttal, same answer, all right? Now, for those of you who wants to do it virtually, that's exactly how you do it, okay? Or maybe you want to train up a team, right, to filter the leads for you, to lock the deal up under contract for you. I got you covered, because just with the King Kong script, that is how our team is built. We got our VA from the Philippines. They know nothing about real estate. They just follow part 1 to the King Kong script, which is filter, qualify the leads, set the appointment, the purchase manager call back, make the offer, lock it up on a contract over the phone. Extremely simple. It's a 1-2-step process to the King Kong script, all right? Now, listen, this is only for those of you who feels like you are weak at talking to the seller who needs this, okay? Now, trust me, if you talk to 500 seller or 300 seller, if you can't lock one property up in a contract, I'm telling you, your phone call is probably not so good, okay? And the thing is, as you are getting better, it's going to help you convert more leads into deals. Now, the King Kong script is not to make you sound like a robot. What it does is I'll lay out some of the important questions for you to ask. You see, it's not about what questions to ask the seller, but how do you ask the questions? That's the most important thing to get the answer that you needed, okay? And also, too, is that I'll show you how to handle all the rebuttal. For example, like, oh, I want to think about it. Oh, I need to talk to my wife. Or I'm not ready. Whatever the case may be, I'll show you exactly how to dominate the phone, how to control the phone, and get the sellers, right, to drop the price like it's freaking hot outside. You guys, when it comes to talking to seller, that's what I do 24/7, 365. And I think talking to seller is the #1 most important skill set that you need to learn in this business if you want to be successful at it. Because let me ask you a question. Who closed deals without ever talking to seller? Without ever talking to seller. I don't care if it's you, I don't care if you're an employee, but they need to be good on the phone to actually convert the leads into deals. And it's what separates you from the rest. Is how do you communicate? How do you talk to them? That is just like music to their ears. So if you're having trouble talking to seller, locking the open contract, or getting a better conversion rate, locking more deal open contract, and maybe some of you are locking deal open contract, but you have never done it virtually, like you have never locked it up on a contract over the phone, dude, my King Kong seller script will take your game, your business to a whole nother level. Because now you understand that you don't need to go out to meet the seller. You don't need to waste the time. You can actually do it all over the phone. The only time maybe you need to go out to meet the seller is the seller that said, hey, I will not sign unless you meet me. Dude, I've been doing this for 8 years. It's really rare that I come across a seller that's like that because it's all about knowing what to say over the phone and how to handle the objections and give the seller the peace of mind and let him know that this is how business is done nowadays. All right? So anyways, if you're ready for the investment, if you're ready to take your phone call to the whole another level and take your business, boom, and blow it up. Link is right below. Check out my King Kong seller script package, $4.95. All right. Also included in there is all the contract that we actually use, and you get like 13 live call that you can listen in how I talk to the seller. So you know that is exactly how my VA talk. That's exactly how I talk. It's just based off of the script. And once again, the script is not to make you sound like a robot, but what the script is a layout of some important question to ask, and how do you handle the phone call, and how do you handle the rebuttal. And what you need to do is you need to learn it, study it, and master it, and memorize it. Because once you memorize it, what's eventually going to happen is you're going to put in your own little taste, your own little spin, your own personality. That is when the script becomes powerful. It's when you're able to memorize it and then put in your own personalities. That is when it becomes powerful. All right? So anyways, I hope you enjoy this video. If it does, show me some love. Comment below. What's the takeaway from this video? And until next time,